What's up, everybody? Nolan of Black Diamond Services. I am just doing a little maintenance today. So I want to show you guys what I've been doing. So some of you have been wanting some behind the scenes kind of things, what we do. Sorry for sun beating down and showing my shadow in front of this, but I was cleaning the stainless steel of the machine. Haven't gotten everything yet, and trying to clean up the little side step here. And then also, as you can see, I've got all my stuff out, and I was cleaning the back here too. So every once in a while it's good to take all your stuff out and clean this up, because you're constantly walking in and out, pulling stuff in or out and then back in, so this floor gets really dirty, and of course eventually can get scratched up. So what I did is pulled everything out, of course, pulled my lines out, and because these are electronic, there's a chain right here that drives these for bringing them back in. So I greased those up a bit, helped maintain those, and then pulled one of the chemical trays out that's usually sitting right down there, and cleaned that out, cleaned underneath it. Even took this plastic piece off and cleaned underneath it as well. A lot of stuff gets trapped underneath it as it fits right in between here. What else? Well, I haven't completed everything yet, so somebody was asking for behind the scenes stuff, so this is going to be something that's included in the premium channel accounts. So those that subscribe to that will get content like this periodically. So just kind of going through the maintenance steps to keep this in nice working order. It could take you multiple hours to go through everything if you want to pull all the chemistry out and go through those trays, wipe down all your tools and stuff, everything that I've gotten here. And for those who haven't seen this van before, in the inside there's two hose reels, and if you're wondering why, is this machine here, the Profire that was built by Steam Action, it can run two wands at the same time. So if I have a big commercial account, which we have quite a handful of that we do every year, Adam and I or whoever can run both of these simultaneously. So what we do is we use our filter, which has got two front ends there, so we can hook two lines to it, and then you got a hose hook up here and a hose hook up here, and we run that down, which I always do, to the back side of the filter, and then I normally run one out the front when I'm just doing single wand. But you can see here's one of the carpet wands, and that allows us to do dual wanding. And so as you can see, I got a hook up here and a hook up here, so I have it kind of pushed back in here because I was cleaning it a little bit. You hook one up to there, that leads back to the steam lines in the back, and then of course another one here, which I have the line laying down here that you hook up to this one, and there you go. You have dual wand power. And this machine it's got 20 inches vacuum, so 20 inches of lift, so it'll run all the way up to 20. That's its max lift that it can do. And then the CFMs on this, I believe, are 598. And then of course you got your water temperature gauge, which this is set to go up to, but no more than 270. Just because most steam lines cannot handle more than that, so you're going to burst steam lines a lot faster. Then of course all that runs back to here. I pull this in as much hose as I need. This spindle here has got 200 feet, and this one over here is actually got 250 feet, one long one, which this is just my backup for when I'm obviously not dual wanding. So as you can see, by the time it actually gets to this hose, it's not going to be at 270. You do get some loss at the wand. So this one says 250 Fahrenheit. So you don't want to go much higher or stay right at that amount or lower, because like I said, you're going to wear them out faster and essentially burn through them. But you can get hoses, I believe, that I've seen for up to 275 degrees, which the only reason why I would do that is probably for commercial, when you got like gum stuff and stuff like that, where you can just melt right through it and take it off without using any other additional chemicals, because you'll probably actually save money doing that. So anyways, maintenance, cleaning off your tools, different things like that. So these swivel wands here, they have a little spot right there that you can grease them, so that way they swivel properly. You do that depending on how much use you get out of them. You can check it once a month to make sure that this doesn't get stiff and lock up on you. So that's one thing you could do to maintain it. So as you can see, I actually have the grease gun right here. So that was part of my maintenance today. So anytime we have some extra time, if it's been more than a month, then we tend to pull everything out, clean it all up, make sure it's ready to go. That way you can keep on moving and not have any issues with stuff breaking down. So I hope this video is what some of you are looking for, and I'll go ahead and tie in. Somebody asked what my thoughts are on the ProFire a year later. It has been just over a year since I've had it, and it's a great machine. If you plan on doing bigger jobs, bigger residential jobs, bigger commercial jobs, then this machine will do it for you. Adam and I took this van out by itself and did 3 commercial jobs, 3 different locations, probably 4,000 square feet of carpet. So between setting up 3 times each, driving to 3 appointments, starting at about 8 in the morning, leaving here about 8 in the morning, we got all 3 of them done by 1:30. So 1 van. So this is something, if you're getting into the carpet cleaning business, you want to think about is what your plan and goal is as far as clientele that you want. Are you doing just residential? You may not need to have a machine that dual wands. It's not completely necessary, unless you're targeting bigger homes, certain income, and that will kind of determine what's going to be best suited for you. So ideally, in my personal opinion, for the business model that I'm doing, I am doing bigger machines because of the goals I have and the jobs that we've been getting here periodically, and also going back to the lift and the CFMs of this machine. That means I get carpets drier faster than the average in my area, because I know for pretty much a fact nobody in my area, or at least where I serve, has a machine like this one. May have similar abilities, but not specifically this machine. So I wanted to be able to say, yes, I can get your carpets dry same day, or as little as 4 hours or less, depending on the airflow in the home and the conditions that we're up against. So these bigger machines with lift, the 18-20 inches of lift, that means you're pulling more out at a time. So when this gauge, the vacuum gauge, is running up at that 20 when you got the wand to the carpet and you're doing your job, you're pulling more out at a time than, say, a machine that only has 12 inches of lift. So when you're seeing carpet cleaners on YouTube and you're seeing somebody blast through it, moving really fast doesn't necessarily mean it's a good thing or a bad thing. Sometimes it's the machine you have. If your machine has really good capabilities like this one, you can move a little bit faster if you wanted to, if you're not too concerned about getting dry times super low. If you want to stick around the average, you can move quicker because you got higher lift and more CFMs that takes it back through the hose in order to get more out at a faster rate. So if you see somebody blasting through it and they have a strong machine, you know, that's okay. But if they have a machine that's got, say, 12 inches of lift max, or even a little bit less, and they're blowing through it, it's going to take longer to dry, you know, unless they're using blowers to speed the drying up, which is perfectly fine too. It just depends on what your capabilities of your machine are and how you set the job up after that for each room. If you got a blower, that's perfectly fine. Speed dry it, no problem. But the thing is, with these bigger machines like this, I don't have to set those blowers out because I'm getting the carpets dry almost as fast as somebody that's putting a blower on it immediately afterwards and speed drying it. So that's kind of one of the bonuses to having a larger machine like this, is you're going to get those carpets dry faster, less setup and tear down time, because I'm not having to pull a blower out for every single job. You know, unless the client requests it, then we carry a blower on the van in order to, you know, speed dry an area where maybe kids or something will be home an hour from the time that you're finishing up, and then that blower will have it basically dry to the touch before you leave. So I hope this information is helpful in deciding on what you want to dive into. Again, large machine is not necessary. You don't have to go all out on something like this for your first one, unless you have an in to a couple commercial accounts that are going to be constant, or you know you're in an area where there's a lot of large houses where you need to run multiple hose lengths. You know, again, having higher CFM when you're running multiple hose lengths is going to allow you to have stronger vacuum at the carpet wand when you're running, say, 150, 200 feet. You'll still have a fairly strong vacuum. And then when you have higher lift, again, you'll be pulling more at a time. But if you guys watch my videos, you'll see that I'm always doing dry passes, even though I have a strong machine. For some of those that are wondering why, well, I get a lot of dirty carpets, and even after I'm passing back over doing the dry passes, I'm still seeing dirt come through. So again, it's just my business model to get it as dry as I can. And even though I probably don't really need to do dry passes with this van, in some situations I do, because like I said, I want it to be super dry, so that way by later in the afternoon, if I'm there first thing in the morning, they already have a fairly dry carpet when they all get home, and then they're ready to go. Because in my area, I get a lot of people that are saying, how long is this going to take to dry? Is it going to be a day or two? And, you know, I get to tell them, no, probably as little as 3 to 4 hours, so long as we have good airflow in the home. And so they're always pleasantly surprised. So that's the thing. If you're going to get into the business and that's what you want to do, you know, charge accordingly so it makes sense. Get yourself set up with a nice rig. I always say, you know, start medium and work your way up to large. That's kind of what we did. You could probably hear my other van running in the background. Adam's doing some maintenance and some cleaning as well. And then I got to get the hoses for it, but as you can see, this is a water filter. So I'm gonna be running my hose up into here, and then on this side running down right into this water outlet here. That way I have clean water before it enters my machine. So another little thing to go over while I'm thinking about it. So this will clean your water up, which is great, before it goes in the machine, so you won't have to descale the system as often, which is a plus. So even though I'm gonna have that hooked up eventually, I still use a rinse tank. So I know some people say they don't when they have soft water running through it. If you have a soft water machine or set up in here in your van, then that's even better. Excuse me. But this will remove a lot of it. so that way I don't have to descale as much. And then I do run a chemical through. I have 2 tanks that I put in the back here, one for alkaline and one for acidic products, depending on if I'm cleaning a really dirty carpet, alkaline, or if I'm cleaning a carpet that has a lot of pea spots, acidic. So I do that because I like to soften the fibers, plus it gives me a little extra cleaning power excuse me, as well. So something to consider. You can get it set up, which I haven't done on this one. So you got the 2 tanks back here. You can have 2 lines like this going through that are pulling the chemical out of the tanks, and you can kind of put a Y adapter on there with a shutoff valve that will split it so you can easily go back and forth between your alkaline and acid rinsing agents. So it's kind of something neat you can do, and in that way you're not if you got a dirty carpet right after you just did a pee job, you don't have to dump out your alkaline rinse to switch over to acid or vice versa, so you're not wasting chemical. Something to think about too for that. So I hope these little tips may help you. Excuse me, sorry. Out in the country, I get a lot of allergies here, but these tips may help you, guide you into the right direction. In all honesty, where I started with the ProChem Everest 650, which is a great machine, and to start with. But if I could go back in time, I would have hit up Steam Action or a company similar that makes custom machines, kind of like this one, and I probably would have started there, because the Everest 650 has 13 inches of max lift, which isn't bad, but it does not compare to this tapping out at 20 inches of lift. A lot more I'm pulling out at a time. I am drying carpets a little faster than Adam, so he has to do dry passes a little bit slower than I do in order to get it that way. So once we continue on, we're going to be moving into machines like this one for every single one of them. So just things to consider. This video got a little bit long, but I hope this information is very helpful in your deciding factors of how you want to do business or how you may want to upgrade in the future. So thank you guys so much for watching. It's Nolan of Black Diamond Services. You guys have a great day.